Come on up here, Shariah. Go for it, baby.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Barry. If it were not a pandemic year, you would have been greeted at your tables by your very own Valerie Fund patient ambassadors. But right now, in order to keep the Valerie Fund kids safe, my fellow Valerie Fund patient, River, and I are here to proudly represent the 6,000 Valerie Fund kids, and I am so honored to do so. The first time I walked into the Valerie Fund Center, my mood immediately brightened. The colors, smiles, and warm welcomes gave me a feeling of security and support. This is the day I received the news that the mass growth, the size of my head that had been removed from my liver just 8 days earlier, had been cancerous. This was also the day I met my doctors, Dr. Batra, Dr. Butler, Dr. D. Benedictus, Dr. Raoul, and Nurse Kelly. My name is Shariah Marsden. I'm 15 years old, and I am 2 years cancer-free. Thank you, guys. I was 11 years old, and as overwhelming as the situation was, everyone with my mom and me that day and throughout my treatment made us feel so extremely comfortable. From January to June that year, symptoms started presenting themselves, such as agonizing pain and random spurs of vomiting. This was a surprise because I was extremely active. I had played basketball, I was on 3 different cheer squads, and I maintained an A average in all of my classes. Hi, Mommy. I had to be pulled from school multiple times and taken to urgent care because I couldn't stand the pain. We were told that the cause ranged from my diet, to my menstrual cycle, to my appendix, and finally, the gas in my stomach. That summer, my symptoms increased and they worsened. And during my second week of camp, my mom was notified and rushed me to Newark Beth Israel's Children's ER. During our visit, we knew something was seriously wrong because the doctors ran an ultrasound, MRI, PET, and a CAT scan. Throughout these tests, the ER staff were so comforting, but of course, we were still scared. By the end of the night, we were informed of the mass growth and that I had to be admitted for emergency surgery. Little did I know, this was the start of my cancer journey. A week later, after being discharged from the hospital, I had my first follow-up appointment at the Valerie Fund. There, they informed my mother and I that I had stage 4 cancer. The mass was called undifferentiated embryollar sarcoma of the liver. And yes, you guys definitely heard that right. It was called undifferentiated embryollar sarcoma of the liver. My mom and I looked at each other as if we were saying, repeat that again. We were so lost. Dr. Batra slowed down and went into depth about the type of cancer I had. She told me that it was a rare childhood cancer and it was extremely aggressive. Of course, this news hit us like a ton of bricks. This was when my mom asked Dr. Batra if she would call my aunts to help us explain to them the situation. The loving support we received from every staff member that day to help us understand and move forward will forever be in my heart. The next couple of days started blood tests and preparations for chemo. Throughout my chemotherapy, all my visits to the Valerie Fund were a different fun adventure. Whether I had to do blood tests or transfusions, I was always made to feel at home. I bonded and I formed some great friendships with a number of staff and other children who I now call my friends. Mariella, the integrative medicine practitioner who wouldn't be there if it wasn't for the Valerie Fund, always gave me incredible Reiki massages that put my mind at ease. And she told my mom where my pressure points were so she could also put my body at ease. According to what my mom says, everything was always laid out for her. The time to take what medications, the possible side effects, and if something didn't work, what we would try. When I tell you the Valerie Fund gave my mom a book on every chemo and radiation treatment I received and the specifics of the medicine I ever took, I truly mean it. My mom says that it made her decision-making much more comfortable because of how detailed the Valerie Fund was. Suzanne, my Valerie Fund educational liaison, was amazing. She helped me in numerous ways. For example, she arranged for my teachers to come to my house and give me one-on-one lessons so when I eventually went back to school, I would be caught up with the rest of my peers and I wouldn't struggle. When I finished treatment, 6 months later, I went to Camp Happy Times. Not only was the camp amazing, but they were so supportive of all the children that attended. They made sure the schedule was thoroughly explained and that what we knew, what we would be doing for the rest of the week. I made some amazing friends, and I built so many strong connections with my counselors. Today, I call the Valerie Fund my second family. Although I am cancer-free, I still have to be tested and monitored through the survivorship clinic. The Valerie Fund ensures I get my appointments and the best support possible. Without them, I honestly don't know how I would have gotten through this whole situation. On behalf of the 6,000 kids like me, thank you so much for coming out and supporting the extraordinary community of Valerie Fund caregivers and staff that supports, helps, and loves us.